Welcome.
Welcome to the Hawthorne podcast. That's how you talk, Bo. That's my impression of you.
Okay. All right. Whatever. I see who's.
Hey, so exciting news in the world of me.
Yeah.
And music that I like. Sammy Ray and the Friends dropped their debut album.
Awesome.
Which is cool and it's really good.
I should listen.
It's called
to
Something
that.
for Everybody. And guess what?
What?
It's got something for everybody on it.
Awesome.
It's a whole bunch of different styles and different things. It all flows well together. The music video people should watch for the song Thieves, which is the first, it's the second track on the album, but it's the first official track.
Yeah.
Because they do the opening one is like the Friends intro or something it's called.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of like a thing that they do at their shows, like to welcome folks. But the song Thieves, which is super catchy, but they did this music video and they cast these little kid versions of themselves.
Okay.
To play themselves as little kids. And they're just in this candy store, stealing all this stuff.
Uh-huh.
Because the song, when I saw them a few months ago, I heard the song then, they were starting to play new stuff off the album. And she was like, look, the song, it's about when you're trying to stick it to the man. And maybe sometimes you just take some things. You're like a little kid and you don't, And so that's the whole video. But then they play the cops.
Yeah.
The adult selves play the cops. It's really funny and it's really cute. And the kids are perfect spitting images of who they're playing and
they
stuff. And there's even a thing where little Sammy has this outfit on that Sammy Ray wore in a different music video. So they're this is canon now.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's cool. Also, I recorded a video and vocals of me singing the tenor part to one of their songs.
Yeah.
So I might be in an upcoming music video.
Nice.
That was the whole point. It was hey, everybody learn your parts, submit a video.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
You're probably going to be in it. It's not going to be not in it.
Yeah. I'll be 1 second.
Because I think that it'll probably be a choir, right? You'll be one picture in X amount of people.
Yeah.
What's his
Eric
name?
Whitaker.
Yeah, Eric Virtual Choir.
Virtual Choir.
They'll be up there.
Yeah.
In weird space. So we both watched Agatha all along.
Yep, first 2 episodes because that's all that's out.
That's all
we record.
Yeah. By the time there'll be 4, I think, or the 4th one will be coming out.
Sure.
Time. So at the beginning, I'm because did you watch did you pay attention to the credits?
Yeah, based on the Swedish show Wanda Vizdjar or whatever.
Yeah, which I'm just oh.
Some people are I missed that, blah, blah, blah. I'm how did you, what were you watching?
They're not looking
what were
at
you paying attention to?
Their phones.
I guess. But even when they were listing the credits, the people in it, it was the names of the characters.
Oh, I didn't even see that. But
yeah, so she was listed as Agnes O'Connor or whatever, and the one guy was Bert something or whatever.
Yeah.
And I was oh, she called him Bert. That's the character name. So these are the
Yeah. I didn't like it at that point. And I'm oh, okay, this doesn't matter. I understand what they're doing.
Yeah.
Within X amount of time.
Well, they kind of spoiled that in the trailer.
I didn't really watch that many
that was going to be
a
thing. Is that she's in this police procedural, but she's not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did not see that.
Okay.
So I just saw
I should stop watching trailers for stuff.
Yeah, a lot of
they tend to spoil.
That's kind of their job.
Yeah.
Kind of. They're let's get you hype for the movie and show you the movie in
I listened to, I should send you the link to it, but I listened to this really good interview with a guy who his job is trailers.
Yeah.
I think you'd find it interesting.
Definitely.
In particular. It's so one of my favorite podcasts is called Tofop, and then they have several sort of spin-off podcasts, and one of them was originally called Fofop. So it was fake Tofop, because it started. So there's these 2 guys that do it, and they've been going for 14 years. But they had to take a break for several years because the one guy was on a pretty famous TV show in Australia.
Okay.
And they were we don't know about you doing this podcast based on the 50 episodes that they had done already.
Yeah.
They're we don't know if we want you to do that. So he had to step away from it. So what the other guy was doing was he kind of kept it going, but he would have what he called guest Charlies on, because Charlie was the guy who couldn't be on, so he had guest Charlie, so they called it faux fop then and whatever. Anyway, but then when they came back and were doing it again after the guy was off the show, they still kept that going. So they would do like the regular TOFOP with like just the two guys, and then 1 week would be like Will and somebody else, and then the next week would be Charlie and somebody else, and that was the whole thing.
Yeah.
A bit. So anyway, this is part of that. And one of the guys that Charlie has on with him regularly, they just talk about movies and stuff. And then they interviewed this guy who cuts trailers. So
cool.
There's some background for you. I will send that to you.
So a couple musical things that I wanted to talk about for Agatha All Along.
Yes.
So the theme, like, so Agatha All Along, that song, like ba-da-dum-dum-bum-bum.
Yeah.
She's that is in like both episodes, like a version of that melody, and then she's singing it in the while she's driving the car.
Yeah.
And then the Ballad of the Witch's Road. You know who it was written by?
Probably because I did watch the credits.
Yeah. And you saw their name and you're like, I know them.
Yeah, but I can't remember now.
Well, what do you think they wrote before?
Well, I don't remember. I don't remember the name.
They're the two people who did Frozen.
Yeah. No, they do all the music for this stuff. Or they've done a lot of the music. They're the ones that wrote the Agatha All Along song.
Yeah.
And then, they wrote this one too. Yeah. No, I did know that.
But I didn't realize that there's most TV shows now, they're like, oh, well, let's put out a soundtrack because it's super easy to just put out a soundtrack. So they put out the soundtrack for episodes 1 and 2, but there's only 2 songs on it.
Okay.
And there's the Ballad of Witch's Road true crime version and then Sacred Chant version.
Yeah.
And I don't know what the true crime version sounds like, so I'm going to listen to it right now. Or we're going to.
Well, it's the theme song to the...
Wait, that came out.
To the true crime show, right?
Yeah. I think so, probably. We're going to hear a pop.
Well, because they did that during... Isn't like the Agatha All Along, like the ba-da-da-beep-bum-bum, contained within like the WandaVision or something like the... There's Maybe. Something... There, that again, that was cool. 3 years ago. So like almost 4, really. So there was something at the time that I had watched where somebody was like, oh, this is, it's based on this and blah, 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 and whatever. And or maybe it was like the WandaVision, like that thing shows up and...
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, here's the ballad thing.
It's 3 years ago, Marvel.
I know. Yeah. Which when this came on, I'm like, is this like supposed to be a True Blood ripoff?
Yeah. Or not True Blood, but like True Detective or whatever. Or maybe True Blood. I don't know what the theme is from that, but...
Well, so True Blood theme is Bad Things by Jace Everett.
Okay.
So this is True Blood theme song.
Okay. Yeah.
Which I think sounds awesome.
Yeah.
We should have used that for the theme song episode. That's such a good
it's on
theme
you, bro.
Song. It is on me.
Speaking of that, apparently the Perfect Strangers song or just the show, I don't really know, is a plot point in the current season of Only Murders in the Building.
Caprica knows that then?
Yeah.
I don't know that. I need to watch that show because it is good.
I've seen episodes of it and I like it. I just haven't actually watched it.
Paul Rudd plays an asshole.
Sure. I don't know.
He does.
Oh, yeah.
Like in the 3rd season, he plays like this. He's the victim that they're trying to figure out how did he die.
He's like a theater guy, right, or something.
Yeah, and he's like a horrible person, and it's like it makes it that much funnier because Paul Rudd plays like
he's the nicest guy.
He's the nicest guy in everything.
Yeah,
and then as far as we know,
because he just plays Paul Rudd in everything.
Yes.
Yeah,
and when he's on Conan, he's showing Mac and Me clips.
Right, that is the best thing. Did I tell you that a friend of mine saw him?
Conan or
it was a Conan live thing at like the Paley Center or something in New York.
Okay.
And Paul Rudd was a guest.
Nice.
And he was like, he did the thing. And I'm like, yes, thank you. I'm so glad he did it.
It's so dumb. And you're doing it at live events. Like, so what do you got with us tonight?
Yeah.
It's like, well, I've been doing this movie
Yeah.
So here's
it's a real passion project.
been doing a play.
Yeah, that's so funny. The current season of Only Murders 2, because I actually I watched like half an episode because it was just on. I think they're filming like a movie or a TV show about them, and so then like
it's
their
a movie based on the podcast.
Yeah, the people who are playing them are like just with them the whole time.
Oh, okay.
So it's from what I picked up on that, because I was like, why are they like with these people the whole time, and why are they all dressed the same? And I was like, oh, that's right. I forgot that was a plot point for this thing. Yeah. So Eugene Levy is going to be the Steve Martin character.
I can see that.
Oh my gosh, her name just went right out of my head. Eva Longoria.
Okay.
She's playing Selena Gomez's character, and then Zach Galifianakis is playing Martin Short's character. Yeah,
that I don't see at all. That makes it more funny.
Yeah.
Oh, Zach Galifianakis, was he in that Beanie Babies movie?
What?
You don't know about the
Beanie Babies movie?
Oh
no, I don't know that. No, he's from comedy and The Hangover.
I know.
Due Date?
Yes. Yeah. Zach Galifianakis. You're gonna. So there's this Beanie. Oh my God. Yes, there's this Beanie Babies movie. No, you're gonna be like, what?
What?
Okay. So what are you pulling up?
I'm just gonna Google.
It's called The Beanie Bubble.
Oh, it's the documentary about.
It's not a documentary.
No, it's a fake thing. Okay,
it's a biopic type thing, but not really. And Zach Galifianakis shaved his beard.
Oh, okay.
So it's like, what? It sounds like him, obviously.
I got you, but it's about Yes, I had heard of. I didn't realize that it was what's her name's in it too? Elizabeth Banks.
Yes.
Oh, Sarah Snook's in it. I like Sarah Snook.
It's a good movie.
Yeah. It's about people selling or like collecting and trying to sell Beanie Babies.
Well, it's kind of the history and the background of it.
Of Beanie Babies in general.
We'll say it's the
unbelievable tale of one of America's most fascinating phenomena.
Yes, there you go.
Okay.
Yeah, but he's in that. I forget what but he doesn't look like Martin Short at all.
No.
Yeah.
He has like his beard's trimmed way down.
Yes, I did see that
for this, but
a couple weeks ago, I watched Three Amigos.
Okay,
and Capra goes in the room. Like, I paused it and was like, "Do you recognize these people?" And she's like, "Who?" Like, these two right here. Like, they're in your favorite show that you watch all the time.
Yeah,
it's like, oh, they are. And this guy's an asshole. Can you name the asshole? Or so I've heard because of Community.
Chevy Chase.
Yeah. He's apparently.
Yeah, he sucks, apparently.
Yes. So we're here to talk about two tunes.
Mm-hmm. Who's first?
I'm first. And this is Emergency Urgency. What?
That part was a little silly.
The Emergency Urgency?
Emergency Urgency, yeah.
No, I liked it. I dug it. It reminds me of something else, and I don't know what that something else is.
The song or just that?
Just Emergency Urgency. Like those lyrics go something. So this is Ray Hawthorne with Kellin Quinn.
Mm-hmm. Who's Ray Hawthorne?
Ray Hawthorne is a vocalist.
From what band?
He was in a band. What was the band that he was in? North Kingsleys.
Okay. Never heard of him.
Yes. It is the bass player from System of a Down's side project.
Okay.
So, and then Kellin Quinn is the singer of Sleeping with Sirens. Mm-hmm. That's a lot of S's.
Yeah.
This is where our...
I had to Google him for a second because I was like, is he problematic?
Kellin Quinn?
He's apparently not. He had some like weird tweets from like 10 years ago, but so did a lot of people.
So the interesting thing about Ray Hawthorne... Oh, where are you? So Ray Hawthorne, this is off of an EP.
Okay. This song that we're going to listen to.
This song is off of an EP. Okay. And the album art, how would you describe the album art for
did I even pay attention to it?
Probably not. So the album art for this is a woman sitting in a theater with all these red Muppet monsters.
Okay.
All right. So this song was the single from this EP.
Mm-hmm.
And then the EP came out. And this is all in 2024. And then I don't know how many of these are on this record. But after the EP came out, there were 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 singles have been put out, even including a song called Tub Thumping Part 2. It is not about a whiskey drink or a vodka drink or lager
By the
drink.
way, all the artwork
is
weird. It looks like AI.
Yes, AI red Muppets.
Yeah.
So every single
And then there's this one, which is like
is
a
a
mouth
red
with
Muppet.
like a cartoon tongue.
Yes. Which is probably the monsters. So like maybe they're like, hey, give me as many different themes of Muppets in. Ooh, that's different though. This one, this letdown.
Yeah, I just noticed that one looks like
it's
a painting.
like a painting, but they're all like a red Muppet.
Yeah.
So like they've got an aesthetic, and yeah, they all do look.
This is so weird.
CG. Yeah, it is.
Emergency is actually like the one for that is actually
normal-ish.
Yeah, it looks just more cartoony.
Yeah. So, as I do, I just like listen to my discovery playlist, and then if I like a song, I put it to my like let's talk about this maybe, or just save it for later. So that's all I know about Ray Hawthorne and Kellin Quinn. This came out in 2024, but so did all those other 25 songs.
Yeah.
So it's like, this guy's pumping out stuff. I haven't listened enough to everything, but over 30 songs that they have out, that they just put out this year.
Yeah.
So, decent chunk. Here's Emergency. And I think you dig them because of the vocally, they sound like other bands that we've talked about.
I like the song. I don't know that I'm intrigued to go listen to more.
Yeah. But what's that? I can't think. He sounds like a vocalist that I don't know. That. What's the band that you like? That all of them.
A lot of bands that sound like that. Yeah. Like Hot Mulligan.
I think it is. Yeah.
Okay. Did I send you that thing? It was like the guy. It was Tim Robinson from How I Think You Should Leave, and he was doing or did you send it to me?
You sent it to me, but we'll talk about that. Just remember that.
Okay. But Hot Mulligan like posted that.
Yes. You said you didn't like that. It's emergency, urgency.
Yeah. Not that I didn't like it. I don't know.
It is a bit overused in the song, but it's a hook.
Yeah.
And they rhyme, and it flows well together.
Yeah. That's Kellin Quinn, I take it?
I think so.
Because it's just the only different vocals.
I thought it was a girl at first because based on...
No, it sings super high, I think.
Yeah. Not that I thought it was a girl's voice. I just thought it was because the artwork on the front.
Oh, right.
And they do complement each other very well.
Yeah.
like when they play this, like the legs are really spread wide and they're just headbanging.
Yes.
The guitar player.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, I dug it. Don't know anything about him, which kind of sucks.
You haven't listened to more of the like 800 singles?
There's 25 singles.
It's crazy.
It is crazy, but you know.
How long do you think they've just been recording and like?
I think that first thing came out in January. Mm-hmm. So I think it's probably been like, the past year. I've
just been recording a
just
whole
like,
bunch.
And then it's just a dump of like everything. So with more than 25 songs, probably like 30 songs in a year, I'm guessing that either A, if they did it right, and these are all like great songs, that means they probably have like 100 songs. And 75% just weren't as good as the 25. That would be the right way to do it. If they're just like, I write everything and release everything.
Yeah.
There's
your hit rate's going to be lower.
Exactly. Which is like any time. Like if you go make something and it might be the best thing, but then the next thing you make is not going to be as good as that, or it's going to be better. And then you're always elevating or decreasing your attenuating the
Ooh.
Yeah. That's a music term for
Write that
me.
one down, kids.
Attenuation. It means turning down for what?
Turn down 4K.
Okay. So yeah, I like that song. I like his vocals.
Yeah.
The vocals of Kellin Quinn. That's also the only feature I think on the record.
Okay.
So everything else is just Ray Hawthorne, not Hawthorne Heights. Yeah.
Not the Hawthorne Caballeros.
Is that a thing?
Drum corps.
Oh yeah. Did we talk about them a couple weeks ago?
I doubt it.
No, we talked about
doubt
what
it.
was that county in New Jersey?
Bergen County.
There you go. The Bergen County.
Yeah.
Cadets
of Bergen County.
Yeah, there you
go.
Yeah. So I saw a show the other weekend.
Same.
I was in Philadelphia.
I was in Lewisburg.
You had a ticket to the show that I went to,
which I didn't know.
I
had plans.
You had plans before I even asked you.
Yeah.
But I'm like, hey, want to go? And you're like, I got a thing. And I'm like, okay. So
I was on maybe a date.
Were you on a date?
I was on maybe a date.
Okay. Anyways.
We'll talk about that.
Why was Bo so intrigued that he said? Anyways, so the show it was a ska show. It was the Suicide Machines tour. By the way, we should say apparently I have been over exaggerating that the Hives are Rich's favorite band.
Oh,
they are not. I stand corrected. He's been catching up, and he's
who is Rich's favorite band then?
I don't know.
Just not the Hives.
Just not the Hives.
Is it the Vines? Did you confuse the Hives and the Vines?
No, but I mean, I'm gonna edit
like
this.
Most people did in 2004.
But
whatever.
Where are you, Rich? Here's the text, and he's like, catching up on the pod. You're really selling this. Rich said the Hives are the best band in the world thing, and yes, I love them. But I so rarely speak in absolutes. I've concluded that you made that up.
That's funny.
Maybe I did. I don't know.
All right.
And I'm like, okay. It's like one of my favorite bands. Absolutely. It's like, maybe. I told Jay, he's like, see, you said it. I'm like, no, I didn't. But yeah, one of his favorite bands. Not his favorite band of all time. But so Jay, the guitar player in my band, he was just at Riot Fest, and at some point he texted in all caps. Oh, where are you? Where are you? Where are you? No, it's a 3-day festival, so there's a lot of text to go through.
Yeah.
Was it day one? Oh my God, dude, this is like such a long text thread. anyways, he's like, greatest band. Oh, maybe it was just to me. Anyways, he's like, greatest band in the world is about to play. And I'm like, is that this guy? And he's like, you know it. Anyways, the Hives, they played. But I went to see the Suicide Machines. I walk into the venue. I got my ticket. I got my thing. Paid $25 for for parking, not gas. That'd be amazing. $25 in gas.
Can you imagine?
I mean, I did that once. I spent like $3 on gas. I filled up my tank for like $3.
When?
I had $2 off per gallon.
Do you remember though, like when we were
growing up and it was $1?
Well, yeah, or like the gas wars, like they would, who could be the cheapest?
When Sheetz came to town, they're like 99 cents.
And 99 cents, 98 cents. They would all do that. Yeah, it was amazing.
Yeah. Well, they're doing that with Wawa in Middletown.
Yeah, but I don't think it's going to affect it. I mean, it's literally across the street from a Sheetz that's right there. But
yeah, it's going to be like, we're a cent cheaper. Let's see what the other Sheetz does. The Sheetz does. And
well, it depends if they have that E88 gas too.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So as I'm going down, first off, it took like an hour longer than it should have because of traffic. Traffic just sucked.
For anyone who's never driven into Philadelphia,
leave early, 2 hours.
But
early.
it's so stupid, and like they're just never gonna fix it.
Yeah.
Like you'll be 3 miles from where you need to go.
Oh, I was 3 miles, and it was like half hour.
And that's short. I feel like it's like 45 minutes to an hour.
I know. I was like, I could
you could get out and walk in less time.
Yeah, I even thought about it. It's like you have 45 minutes and it's 7 miles, and I'm like, I mean, I couldn't really walk that.
Sure,
in
but
less time.
Yeah.
But I could walk it in about equal time.
Yeah. Just pick up your car on the highway.
Yeah, but as I'm driving, I'm like, oh, I recognize this area. It's like, oh, that's where the Liberty Bell is. Oh, that's Independence Hall. That's where the Declaration of Independence is.
Right. Should go steal it. Nick Cage.
But then I'm like, I like this area, and then I didn't feel bad about going there at first. Like I'm like, Philly just sucks. But then like when you're in there and you're like, yeah, Philly's a cool town. If you can find parking, it's like, yeah, awesome. Let's just walk around. Yeah. Philly's awesome. I mean, big cities suck. Unless you're walking around them.
Yeah.
And then they're like, yeah, this is cool. But I missed the first 3 bands. So Suicide Machines, Hey Smith, Kill Lincoln, and I'm going to forget the 4th band. They were all on tour together. And then Big D and the Kids Table joined on for that. And then Planet Smashers also joined on for that. So I was walking in while Hey Smith was playing. Hey Smith is a ska band. They're all ska bands. Is a ska band from Japan. They're amazing. They are so good. Like every member of that band has energy to like give to the crowd. And then even after they played, so like they were hanging out like in the general area of that where I was hanging out, smiles on their faces the whole time.
Yeah.
It's like maybe that's just like their culture. Maybe, I don't really know.
Yeah.
Because I think that like when I'm maybe because it's ska. It's ska culture in general.
Yeah.
When I see ska kids, they're all just smiling. Yeah. Anyways, so they were amazing. And then I listened to the record. The record's really good. I should have chosen that.
I mean, you got time.
For this episode.
Sorry, you got time?
No, I don't have time.
What do you mean you don't have time?
For this episode.
No, but like the podcast.
Oh, yeah. No, but this episode would have been good because we could talk about them and then we could have a double feature of ska. Kind of, sort of. But great night. I mean, there were like some things where I'm just like, what's going on? Like there were some sound issues going on.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then like, Hey Smith sounded great.
Okay.
And then like the next 3 bands did not sound as good as they could have.
Okay.
And I don't know whose fault it was.
Yeah.
I don't think it's the band's fault.
So who did you see besides Hey Smith?
So I saw Hey Smith, I saw the Planet Smashers, I saw Big D and the Kids Table, and I saw the Suicide Machines.
Okay. So you missed Kill Lincoln
and whatever the other
band is.
Yeah, I forget.
If you didn't see them also, it did,
but I know who they are because I know that they're on Bad Time Records.
Okay.
But then there's a lot of Bad Time Record bands.
Yeah.
And
is that your first time seeing Big D and the Kids Table?
No, we've played many.
Oh,
we
cool.
played with them. So like when we were on tour with the Suicide Machines in Philly is when like our tour met up with their tour, and then they kept going with us.
Oh, cool. Yeah,
So,
I like
like-
them a lot. I met them at
Yeah.
Warped Tour. Like they did like a signing at their thing.
Which members?
I don't know.
'Cause-
Whoever was the members in 2005 or
Well,
whatever.
so there's only 3 original members.
Yeah.
In 2000 what?
Ooh, oh, well, I'm saying 2005. I don't know if that's correct.
Okay, but in the early aughts.
Early aughts in Scranton,
Yeah.
maybe 2006.
Yeah, Dave obviously
2007.
was still there. He's the lead.
Yeah.
He is the band. The I think the saxophone player and the trombone player are the same.
But it was cool. I mean, it was just whoever was in the band at the time, and they were just in line, and you went through their tent,
Yeah.
and they all just signed this like
Mhm.
thing that I have, picture that I have. But they were like super, like he was super, like they were just really nice.
Yeah.
And it was like, I think I was one of the first people to get in line.
Mhm.
And so like, hey man, what's your name? And Brandon was like, hey guys, this is Brandon. Like they're going to sign his picture for him and blah, blah, blah. And all this. It was just like super nice. I was like, this is really cool. I like
Yeah.
this.
Yeah. Dave's good.
Yeah. I have it. It's in my office, that picture.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'll text Dave. I don't know if I have his number. I'm friends with him on Facebook though. But I think he doesn't remember me. So when we were on that tour, like I don't know, I felt weird. The at that point, the show kind of, not the show, but the tour got weird in a way, because us, the Suicide Machines, and Against All Authority, like became like best friends on that tour. And then we got like this Big D and the Kids table come in, and at first I'm just like, they probably feel really weird. And this is not me, the way that I act. Like I'm not the person to go up and be like, hey, how you doing? I'm like,
yep,
I'm gonna go over here and hide.
Yeah.
But I kind of purposefully made it on my agenda to kind of like go up to them and be like, hey, like, and hang out with them.
Yeah.
And be like, hey guys, what's up?
So
and,
it's not weird for them. Like, hey, you're joining our thing or
yeah.
whatever.
So I'm gonna invite you in. And I felt that like, oh, we made a friendship because I whatever. But then every time I saw them afterwards, like I felt like Dave didn't know who I was.
That's funny.
And I don't like to interrupt people when they're talking. So like I saw at Warped Tour, like the last Warped Tour that I was at. So like 2014? No, it might have been. No, it was after that. Anyways,
I think the last one I was at was 2013.
It was one of the last ones.
Yeah.
But Dave was talking to somebody, and then I was just standing there, and I felt like he's just like, what's this creepy guy doing?
Yeah.
And I'm like, hey, Dave. And I was like, oh, Mark's here. Like, he's like, yeah, I know Mark's here because like that's why I'm here. That's how I got here. So, and then I saw him at the show, and I'm like, hey, I'm Bo from the Code. He's like, what? And it's like, because he sees Mark all the time because Mark's on tour all the time. But anyways, so Dave, cool. Anyways, I heard you got a tooth removed.
I'll get there. I was gonna say I saw Sierra Hall.
Okay.
The night that you were seeing this show, I saw Sierra Hall, who's a mandolin player, bluegrass player, and like writes pop songs and stuff too.
Where was your show at?
It was at the Wise Center at Bucknell University.
How far away is that from home?
Hour and 15 minutes. Not far at all.
Okay.
Yeah. Really good show. I saw her. Well, I've had her on the podcast.
Yes.
But I saw her originally with Bela Fleck when she was touring with him.
Yeah.
In his bluegrass outfit. And yeah, she's really good. She's got a new record coming out pretty soon, which I'm excited about. She played some new stuff off of it. But a really good songwriter, incredible mandolin player, really good singer, like just really nice and stuff. And the band, so typical kind of bluegrass thing. So it's her on mandolin, bass player, acoustic guitar player, fiddle player. And then they had a drummer, which is not typical for like a normal bluegrass thing. Like you just don't have a drummer because you don't kind of need one, right?
Yeah.
Because there's somebody doing like percussive-y things at all times. Like she didn't have a banjo player, which would be like the other sort of typical instrument. So the drummer didn't play a whole lot. I mean, he played on every song, but he would be playing like...
Are you tearing up?
No, I like kind of burped and then my voice caught. Gotcha. My voice has been weird since the football game on Friday night. I think just being out in the elements. Anyway, so he would often just kind of play like sort of with brushes on the snare just to kind of like keep time and just, I think, have a purpose to be out there.
Okay.
And then other times he kind of played like a little bit more. Some of the more pop-ier numbers played like a little bit more, but it was just kind of funny. Anyway, so I had noticed when they were performing like that they had a very minimal setup, right? And you don't theoretically need a ton of stuff. Like they were all plugged in, you know, they weren't entirely acoustic. So they're all plugged in. There was a single mic. So like, you know, she's singing into the mic, and then the fiddle player and the guitar player, they would like lean in to do like harmonies and stuff. And I'm thinking, well, that's cool, but like they could have each had their own mic, you know? I
think it's an aesthetic type thing.
Maybe.
Yeah.
And I say maybe because what we found out was, so this was like the first stop of their tour. And she's from Michigan. So they were meeting at her house in Michigan to get the tour bus that they had rented and whatever. And she's like, if you don't know, like usually when you leave on tour, you leave like the middle of the night, you know, so and then you like drive overnight and you wake up and you're in the place and whatever. And to make a long story short, basically the bus that they had rented like was broken down before it even like got to them.
Oh,
and they
nice.
were doing repairs and other stuff. And then it just kept taking longer and longer and longer. So then at some point they're like, well, we need to go.
Yeah.
So they like booked flights into like Baltimore and then drove up from Baltimore. And like the bass player borrowed a bass from somebody. And like it just was crazy. And then I guess, so this was on a Friday night. I guess was it on that day, I guess, or whatever? Yeah, that must have been during the day. They found out, okay, the bus made it to her house to pick up all their stuff that they had gotten together, including like food and different things. Like, and then it broke down in her driveway. So they're like, yeah, we're going to figure it out. We don't know what's happening even tomorrow.
Wow.
But yeah, like we're going to make this work. And yeah, they were like, so we got like a real minimal, like they were just able to grab what they could grab. Like they're like some instruments, a microphone, obviously.
Was it their tour or was it?
No, it's their thing.
Yeah.
It's just the five of them or whatever going out. But,
okay.
Yeah. And there wasn't like an opener or anything. And maybe they will at other thing. I think she's playing some different festivals and stuff too. But yeah, I was like, geez, that's crazy. So, but it was cool. It was a really good show. She's, like I said, really good songwriter, singer. Again, we've had her on the podcast before. But yeah, it was cool. It was nice. And it was funny. There was so it was like a lot of older people, but there were also some like younger folks too. And there's like a couple little kids in like full on kind of cowboy gear, and there's a couple old men in like full on cowboy gear. So it was funny, but yeah, it was good. It was a good show. Also, Lewisburg seems kind of cool. Like I want to go back. We walked around. I went with my friend Andrea, and we walked around town a little bit after we had dinner before the show, and like everything was closed because it's like a small town. But there was like a bookstore we wanted to check out, and there was this art store, gift shop that I wanted to check out, and some other stuff. So yeah, I might go back to Lewisburg at some point, just check it out. Anyway, now for something completely different. 100 gecs. Are you familiar with them?
Yeah, I've listened to this record.
Okay. They're one of those groups that like I've heard about and seen about, and then I never really had listened. And then when I went to see Billy Strings a while ago, I did what I'll do sometimes when I do like a little mini road trip or whatever, even like a long road trip, is just put together some albums in a row, like a little playlist of, hey, I've been meaning to listen to these. I downloaded these on my or saved these on Spotify, but I haven't actually listened to them. So I like threw a bunch of stuff on there, and then this was one of the things. And so me driving home from State College at like 11 o'clock at night, listening to this album, which was great. It helped me get through the trip and whatever. But
before you start,
yes,
do you know what their first record was? What was it called?
1,000 gecs.
Yeah, 1,000 gecs.
And now this is 10,000 gecs.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then they have 1,000 gecs in the Tree of something.
Of Clues.
Tree of Clues, which is like a remix thing. Yeah. So they're a hyper pop band, I believe is what they're called. So I really had trouble picking a track because they're all so different.
Yes, that is true.
It's all different. It's almost like different genres every track, or sometimes different genres within a track. And so I mostly picked this one because it's essentially a ska tune.
It's hyper ska.
Hyper ska, sure. But like as I'm listening to it, I'm like, man, like the whole album, like this is so good, and this track's good, and this track's good, and this track's good, and this track's good. And like there's some stuff where it sounds like death metal, and some stuff where it sounds like just real poppy, and some stuff where it's like folky, and then this is like a ska tune. And so because it's all just so different, I was like, I'll just pick this one, I guess. But it's a really, really good album. It came out in 2023, I guess.
Yeah. I remember listening to it.
Yeah.
We were doing the pod.
Doritos and Fritos, good song. It was one of the singles. What's the one? Oh, Frog on the Floor. It's about like being at a party and there's a frog. Like, yeah, it's some interesting stuff. But yeah, I really dig it. And it's just the two members. I had their thing pulled
100 in gecs.
Dylan Brady and Laura Less. But yeah, they're great. I really dig it.
All
so
right.
this is, I got my tooth removed.
You were tough.
Do you want to talk about it?
No. But even like this, so we said it's a ska song, and people are going,
and you're like, no, this is
like
this is not 1950s
folky ballad, yeah,
with autotune.
You were me, such an asshole, so I had to say goodbye. I got my tooth removed.
Yep.
I got my tooth removed, and I don't wanna talk about it. I got my tooth.
Should've got Rich to play bass.
Yes. This bass line is not fancy.
Yeah, it's not as.
My head's
Well,
a
that-
ton of bricks, but this dumb bitch don't learn two tricks. I fuck with fire, burn my dick
Like-
like violin on sinking ships. I woke up and was down.
Polka.
Yeah.
See the dentist, I get down on both my knees. Make deals with God, I'll never keep. I might grab the pliers and just rip it out myself. But if it's gonna fix itself, I guess it's just as well. It doesn't hurt me
Yeah.
every day.
And like, you gotta pay attention to the lyrics. I know we're talking over it, but like,
Another day, I guess
maybe all the
things
time.
never change. I don't know what to do, I gotta get rid of this too. I don't know what to do, I gotta get rid of this too. I don't know what to do, I gotta
And like their use of technology stuff, and like
get rid of this too.
with the way that they produce like vocals and instrumental stuff, and it's just so well done overall. Like their credits are listed as production and vocals, right? Like that's all, like, which is what they do, you know.
That's
cool.
Oh.
The trombone player
Yeah.
is from Save Ferris, because when you click his name, it comes up to Save Ferris's
Nice.
Wikipedia page.
Wait, the Who?
The trombone player on the song,
What's the guy's name?
Alex Sillig, Cillag.
I tried. I brushed every day. I gave it all away. I wanted this to work. I did.
And the sax player, Aaron Leibowitz,
Yeah, that name sounded familiar when I looked at them.
aka Ronnie Sax.
AKA what?
Ronnie Sax,
Okay.
currently a member of the Grammy-nominated electronic group Zhu, Z-H-U. He seems like a mostly gun for hire kind of guy. He's played with a few different things. Yeah.
So when I hear 100 gecs
Mhm.
and I hear this song,
Mhm.
I think of the artist Eichler,
Okay.
who
I don't know who that is.
yeah. So they put out one record on Bad Time Records
Mhm.
called My Checkered Future,
Mhm.
because it's and he was very much like hyper ska.
Okay.
It's hyper ska.
Yeah.
And also they released album versions and then vinyl versions of songs.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna play pick a number 1 through 10.
5.
5. This song is called 99 Resolutions with a Z,
Okay.
featuring Tape Girl. And this song is only 1 minute and 54 seconds.
Shedding, forgetting what we left in last year. Molting and holding your hands in my breath.
Sure.
Kind of actually reminds me of Juice WRLD.
Okay.
Now I'm thinking about it. Anyways,
Slow it way down.
yeah. But also, in June 14th, 2024, Eichler's released a new record on Ike says just independently, called Ike World.
Nice.
Hindsight is 420 is one of the songs.
Nice.
Live, Laugh, it's LUFS, which is it's a
Loves.
yeah, but it's I forget what it stands for, and I should really know. But the last thing means full scale. It's like reading decibels. It's
okay.
it's nerdy audio stuff.
Nice.
Anyways,
Anyway, that's 100 gecs. That album's really fun. And
it is. I agree.
And like cool. And like they did.
I remember listening to it when it came out. I don't know why I was like, I'm going to listen to this. And I liked it. And that, if I was to pick a song,
that would be the one
that I got my tooth removed would be the song because it's ska.
Well, and again, but also it does, but it's also that there's like two things, you know, and it's just like, and it's kind of weird and it's silly in a way. And no, I really dig it. I really dig their stuff. I have not listened to the first album. Actually, I should go check that out too.
Yeah. Don't start at 10,000 gecs. Just start at 1,000 gecs.
Yeah.
Like 10,000 is just too much.
Sure.
100,000 next record, 2025, 100,000 gecs.
Yeah.
All right. We will see you in the future.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye.